Help me reach my goal and subscribe. And hit the bell icon.
Chapter 68:51. Jacob didn't expect him to throw the key out suddenly. Fearing that he would not be able to catch the key, he nervously grabbed it in the air several times before he caught it. Then he angrily scolded, "Hey, why are you so uncultured? You have never seen the world. I threw the car key to you so that you can broaden your horizons. Why did you throw it away casually? If it breaks, can you afford to pay for it?" The middle-aged man said disdainfully. "What can I not afford to pay for a broken fake?" Elaine on the side scolded angrily. "Open your dog eyes and look, this is a real Rolls-Royce car key." "Va?" the middle-aged man said with contempt. "Who are you fooling? Do you think I didn't see you get off the tuk-tuk special car?" Jacob immediately rebuked. "I didn't want to drive today. We are going to travel abroad and leave the car at the airport. I am afraid that it will be scratched by others. So I took a taxi. Is it not okay?" The middle-aged man rolled his eyes at the couple and snorted and laughed. "You are contradicting yourself. You said you are going abroad, you say you didn't drive out, and you took a taxi to the airport. Then why did you bring the car keys? What's the use of bringing the car keys abroad? Tell me." I. Jacob was speechless for a while and didn't know how to answer. The spectators around him also laughed. Because although the middle-aged man's attitude was very rogue and shameless, what he said seemed to make some sense. Since you are traveling abroad and are not planning to drive, then you put the car keys in your pocket. It has no use except the risk of losing it. Is it just to show off that he puts his car keys in his pocket and travels abroad with them? Everyone thinks that this is not in line with the image of a Rolls-Royce owner. If someone can do such a low behavior, he is probably not a distinguished Rolls-Royce owner. Seeing that Jacob was speechless, the middle-aged man felt that he had hit the nail on the head. So he took the opportunity to attack. "I say, you are so old, why are you still so proud? Never mind whether you have a Rolls-Royce or not, you don't need to put the car keys in your pocket when you go abroad or take a plane, right?" After that, he patted his pockets with both hands, smiled and said, "Look at me, I am a legitimate and distinguished Bentley owner. But do I have the car keys with me? No. I am going to the Maldives soon, what's the point of me carrying the car keys? What's more, I have a driver, who the hell buys a Rolls-Royce and drives it themselves? Oh, by the way, do you just want to wait for the security check later? And the security staff will ask you to take out everything in your pocket. And you just take out a Rolls-Royce car key from your pocket and slap it there. And you think you will be proud, right?" Jacob said to the child whose mind was seen through, blushing and stubborn. I didn't. I put it in my pocket accidentally." "Va?" The middle-aged man curled his lips. "Your face is red, who would believe you?" After that, he sighed and said, "Oh, old man. I advise you to be low-key when you go out in the future. Don't brag everywhere, so as not to be laughed at. Your children are all around you. You don't care about your own face, but you have to consider theirs, right?" Jacob was not a sharp-tongued person. After being said that by the other party, he felt that he was simply speechless and could not say anything. He could only take out his mobile phone and look for something. Elaine, who was standing aside, had never been so angry. She immediately pinched her waist and glared at the other party. Driving a broken Bentley and acting like a bitch. Go and ask around. My husband used to be the executive vice president of the Calligraphy and Painting Association. Ask the people in the Calligraphy and Painting Association. Who doesn't know that he drives a 2B version of Cullinan? Chapter 68:52. Jacob quickly said, "What 2B? It's not 2B, it's BB version of Cullinan." Elaine waved her hands impatiently. Aren't they the same? The same meaning. The other party seemed to not take Elaine seriously. He turned to look at Claire and said with a smile, "Beauty, these two should be your parents. Please persuade them. They are so old, they shouldn't be so vain." After that, he called to the charming woman beside him. "Wife, let's go. Let's go through customs and go to the first-class lounge to rest." The charming woman saw that her husband had the upper hand. And she felt particularly proud. She said coquettishly, "Okay, husband. I told you a long time ago, don't argue with poor people when you go out. You can't explain it to them." The middle-aged man laughed, hugged the charming woman, and walked away happily. As soon as he left, Jacob raised his head and shouted at his back angrily. "Don't leave, my man, look at me, the photos I took with my car, look. See if it's Cullinan, see if I'm bragging." Seeing that the other party didn't even turn his head, he stamped his feet in anger. "Look. Open your dog eyes and see clearly." Claire, who was standing aside, felt extremely embarrassed and stepped forward and said, "Dad, that's enough, don't keep holding on to it. You shouldn't have taken out the car keys in the first place." Claire felt embarrassed, not because she felt embarrassed to be watched or even laughed at by strangers, but because she felt that it was a bit embarrassing for her parents to show off in public with something they had exchanged for Charla's identity. Especially when she didn't expect that her father would secretly put the car keys in his pocket even though he had said that he would not drive to the airport. She knew what he was thinking. What the middle-aged man said just now was right. Dad must have thought that taking this key out would add some glory to his face when he took it out. Such a vain performance really disappointed Claire. Charlie didn't feel anything. He didn't say a word. He thought that his father-in-law's behavior of putting the car keys in his pocket was too funny. So he just watched him get humiliated. Jacob felt a little embarrassed when he saw that his daughter and son-in-law didn't support him. He secretly put the car keys in his pocket. Looking back now, this behavior was indeed a bit childish. He was in a good mood to go on vacation. But he was ridiculed as soon as he went out. Jacob was very depressed. He looked at the Rolls-Royce car key in his hand and felt that the treasure that usually made him very satisfied had now become a hot potato. He couldn't throw it away or keep it. So he quickly took out his cell phone and called President Pei. "Hey, old Pei, where are you? I came out on vacation today and didn't drive out. But I accidentally took out my car keys. How about you give me your home address, and I'll ask a local runner to send the car keys to you. Please pick them from me." President Pei was puzzled. "Just keep them if you have them. The car keys are not heavy. You have to find a runner to send them to me and spend money on them." "What's the point?" Jacob said against his will. "Oh, you also know that my car keys are too conspicuous. I don't want others to see them. Otherwise, I will be asked to take them out during security check. And others will think I am pretending to be cool." President Pei said casually, "If not, just put them in the suitcase." Just remember not to take them out. Security check will not let you take out all the car keys in the suitcase for separate inspection. Hey. Jacob sighed and said depressedly. That's fine, I'll put it in the box, hanging up now. Chapter 68:53. After that, he hung up the phone, opened a crack in the small suitcase he carried with him, and stuffed the Rolls-Royce car key in through the crack with a look of disgust. Charlie found it funny, but he held back his laughter. Seeing that he had sorted out the car keys, he waved to him and said, "Okay, it's getting late, hurry in." Jacob suffered a great loss, and at this moment he was also reluctant. But even if he was reluctant, there was nothing he could do. The person involved had already left. And even if he wanted to get back to the place, he had no chance. Helplessly, he could only suffer this loss in silence. And followed Charlie and Claire to the airport. Elaine also had a sullen look on her face, and she kept muttering, "Damn it, I have never suffered such a loss. Back then, I opened the window in our old community and cursed at the whole community, and I didn't lose. Today, I was insulted by this BA5 tard. I'm so angry." Claire knew her mother's temper, so she advised, "Okay, Mom, it's just a small matter. Don't always remember it. Don't forget that we are going out to play this time." Elaine muttered, "Just now I heard that couples say that they are also going to the Maldives. They won't be on the same flight with us, right?" Charlie said casually, "There are no direct flights from this city to the Maldives every day. Now is the peak season for traveling to tropical areas. So there is one flight every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. After the Chinese New Year, there are fewer people traveling abroad, so the flights stop." Elaine asked in surprise. "So what you mean is that he must be on the same plane with us?" "Yes." Charlie smiled and said, "If they are really going to Maldives, they must be on the same plane as us." Jacob cursed angrily, "Oh, I'm so unlucky. How could I be on the same plane with such people?" Elaine looked at Jacob with disdain, sneered, and said, "What are you afraid of? It would be better if we were on the same plane. The loss just now can't be in vain. I have to get back at them when I'm on the plane." Claire was startled and quickly took her arm, and persuaded her earnestly. "Oh, Mom, don't be impulsive. Making trouble on the plane is different from making trouble on the ground. On the plane, a small thing will escalate to a very serious level altercation. Moreover, every flight now has a security officer, which is equivalent to an air police. If you make trouble on the plane, you may be arrested." Elaine snorted and laughed, "TSK, they can arrest me if they want. Do you know what your mother's nickname is?" When saying this, Elaine thought of the glorious days in Bedford Hills. Bedford Hills is a haunted prison. Even today, this reputation is still circulating in Bedford Hills Correctional Institution. It is well known and deafening. Claire really has nothing to say to her own mother. Her mother has been in and out of prison. She has been in and out of prison in China and the United States. She has seen a lot of storms. She will not take it seriously when the security officer on the plane scares her. Helplessly, she can only think to herself that she must keep a close eye on her mother later. If she has any out-of-line behavior, she must stop it in time. This is the first time she and Charlie travel abroad together. And it is very likely to be the last time. No matter what, she can't let her mother's personality ruin this trip. The family of four entered the airport. passed the security check and customs, and came to the airline's first-class lounge. There were not many people waiting for their flights in the luxuriously decorated lounge. This was because the first-class lounge was different from the VIP lounge. If one had purchased an ordinary business-class ticket, or was a high-card user of an airline, they could only go to an ordinary VIP lounge. The first-class lounge is specially prepared for passengers who spent tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars to purchase a transoceanic first-class ticket. Chapter 68-54. After showing their boarding passes, the young ground staff took them to the sofa seats inside. Coincidentally, the middle-aged man and the young woman were also inside, eating breakfast. When enemies meet, they are particularly jealous. When Elaine saw them, she rolled up her sleeves and went to greet them. The middle-aged man was also a little surprised to see her come in. Because a ticket from this city to Mail costs nearly 70,000 yuan. He thought to himself, "My father is so rich that I feel very painful to spend 140,000 yuan to buy a plane ticket. I didn't expect that this old loser's family of 4 can actually afford a first-class ticket. It seems that he has some strength." Claire saw that Elaine did not sit down, but went straight to the two people. She wanted to stop her but failed. Elaine's arms seemed to be greased. She swung her arms sideways and shook Claire's hands away, and walked towards the other party with big strides. The middle-aged man and his wife were having dinner. As the food in the first-class lounge was very good, they filled the table. The woman was busy taking photos from various angles to post on WeChat Moments. When the man saw Elaine coming, he immediately put down his chopsticks and stared at Elaine, not knowing what she wanted to do. When Elaine walked in front of the two of them, she deliberately slowed down and stopped more than 1 meter away from them. She felt that this distance was relatively safe. In case the man got up and beat her, she would not be able to dodge. Jacob was afraid that she would suffer a loss, so he quickly whispered, "Wife, wait for me, I'll go with you." Elaine waved her hand disdainfully and said lightly, "No need, I want to fight them one-on-one today." Then, she hugged her shoulders and muttered disdainfully, "Oh, is this the first time in first class? It's like he's never seen anything before." The two took a table. "What's the matter? Do you want to eat back the plane ticket money with breakfast?" The middle-aged man's face was a little embarrassed. He really didn't want to take so many things, but he couldn't stand his newly married wife who kept taking them. There was a lot of food here, and there was a special window for ordering food. So this woman took bread, desserts, shrimp dumplings, and let her take all the golden items in Cantonese breakfast tea. Later, she asked the kitchen to cook 2 bowls of wonton noodles for her. The man knew that his wife couldn't finish so many things, and she was just here to satisfy her pleasure and take pictures of the circle of friends. So he was ridiculed by Elaine, and was a little speechless for a while. Instead, the woman raised her head and looked at Elaine with disdain. "It's you again. I spent the money. What does it have to do with you how much I take?" Elaine pouted and said, "I know, you just want to take some photos and videos to post on WeChat Moments. To show off. It's not that I look down on you. But how many times have you been in first class?" The woman said angrily, "How many times have I been in first class? What does it have to do with you? Besides, my husband used to take a business jet when he went out. This time, he didn't get a business jet. So we had to sit in first class with you poor people, okay?" Oh my. Elaine took out her cell phone, flipped through it, and said contemptuously. Look at you bragging, as if you have really been on a business jet. Your husband drives that broken Bentley, and at best he can afford to charter a cheap route in China. I know that some business jets in China occasionally fly back to the mainland. And a short trip costs only hundreds of thousands, or even tens of thousands. But a business jet chartering a cross-ocean flight costs more than 1 million yuan. Can your husband afford this kind of money? The middle-aged man thought to himself. How can this stinky old woman know so much? Chapter 68:55. The middle-aged man was shocked. But the young woman next to him didn't understand. Since she followed the middle-aged man next to her, she hasn't had the opportunity to experience the dignity of a business jet. And she has only heard the legend of business jets from her husband a few times. And her husband really doesn't want to spend a lot of money to fly a long distance. Generally, a business jet is on a regular basis to a certain city, or just happens to come to Oris Hill from a certain city. It's not cost-effective to return empty, so he spreads the news through an intermediary, selling the return plane at a low price, and giving a few tens of thousands of yuan for gas to take people there. Just like a taxi driver, who gets a repeat customer, at a cheaper price after a long trip. In order to show off, the man once spent 100,000 yuan to fly from Oris Hill to Chang'an. Just that experience became his confidence to brag in the future. And he told the woman that he usually chartered a business jet wherever he went. But this trip to the Maldives was really too expensive. Although not as expensive as the United States. It was during the Spring Festival holiday, and the price had risen. The price quoted would be nearly 1 million. He is really reluctant to spend it. So he made up a lie that the business jets were fully booked. Elaine is a person who is good at discovering other people's weaknesses. Seeing that the woman was only concerned with taking pictures, she knew that this woman was exactly the same as herself. But her experience was definitely richer than hers. And crushing her was like a piece of cake. The woman was a little unhappy at this time. She put down her phone and stared at Elaine, saying angrily, "You old woman are really annoying. My husband usually spends money on me and is very generous. This time he just didn't make an appointment. How can you be here to talk nonsense? You talk as if you have been on a transoceanic charter flight." Elaine laughed and cursed in her heart. "Little girl, I have brought you into the ditch with just 2 words. And you still want to fight with me?" Thinking of this, she handed the phone directly to the 2 of them and sneered. Watch this video in the circle of friends. Click it and take a good look. The man was a little surprised. He took the video and opened it. They found her in a private jet, with an extremely luxurious interior. In the camera, 3 flight attendants bowed deeply in the direction of the video. The one in the lead said respectfully, "Dear Ms. Ma, welcome aboard this flight. This flight flies directly from Oris Hill to Providence, USA. And the flight time is about 15 hours. I am the chief steward of this flight, and the 2 next to me are flight attendants of our crew. The 3 of us will serve you throughout the rest of the flight. You can ask me at any time if you have any needs." The man was dumbfounded when he saw this. Elaine said with a look of arrogance, "I might as well tell you that the plane I'm on is the famous Gulfstream G650. Have you heard of it?" He stared at Elaine with wide eyes, and exclaimed in his heart, "Who is this old woman? She chartered such a good private plane to go to the United States. And the key is that she is alone. It costs $1 million to fly this way. And at least $2 million for a round trip. Does she have a mine at home? After watching the video, the woman said with disdain. TSK, it's just a video, what can it prove? I know there are a lot of shoddy short videos now. You can get any kind of studio for a drama. Not to mention shooting in a private jet. Even shooting in the Forbidden City is not uncommon.